Hi, my name is Kellie Borden and I'm from Pennsylvania, and I grew up loving horses. I grew up in a family who didn't communicate very well, so it left me feeling very isolated and very insecure and very lonely. And the loneliness that I felt just completely started causing me to die inside. And I just remember so many times where I would go to the woods and think, does anybody love me? Does anybody care about me? Nobody is ever around. Nobody ever asks, how's Kellie doing? Or how does Kellie feel today? Or how was your day today? When I was 15, I had gone through a lot of transition. I just had a back surgery. I just gotten braces, and my parents had just gotten divorced all in the same month, and my mom had also gotten remarried. I felt like my life was falling apart. And I fell into this darkness where nothing in the world made sense. I had no idea who I was. So I got together with some friends that I'd made about my junior year of high school who liked to party. They liked to do drugs, and they did it every weekend. And they were the people who I really felt accepted around. They were the people who I felt really liked to be around me, and I'd never experienced that in my life. Every weekend I'd go out, and I think the more that I was around them, I wanted to be like them. So I started drinking, and I started smoking pot, and I started becoming more and more sexually active, thinking that was the right thing to do. That was what people did that felt loved. I thought that after only sleeping with one guy, it could never happen to me. I was 19, I had found out that I had this STD, and that eventually had turned into precancerous cells. They told me at that moment that if I had let it go, there was a possibility that I would need a hysterectomy and that I wouldn't be able to have children. At 19 years old, I was devastated. I thought there was no hope. I didn't think there was any way out of this. One day, I just wanted to end it, and so I popped a bunch of pills and literally came so close to dying. At the same time I was going through all this, I was in college and I met this guy. He told me that his parents were pastors of a church in downtown where we lived. The first day that I walked into the church, I remember just feeling such love and peace. I had never felt that before in my entire life, and I just felt so at home. I remember just being like, is this really real? Because I don't know what love feels like, but I think I do now. After the service, a gentleman had approached me with my friend's mom and said he had a word from the Lord for me. He basically started telling me things about my past, things about my future, things that I had never even shared with my friend before. So in that moment, I knew that it had to be Jesus. He just became so real to me. And I remember just saying, Lord, Jesus, this has to be you. This has to be you. There's nobody else in the world that would know this but you. So I just lost it. I cried and I wept and I got on my knees and I said, Lord, I don't know what this means, but I know that I want to know you, and I want you to show me who you are. The following March of 2006, I had gone back for my other checkup, and I found out that the cells had returned and they were even more aggressive than they were the previous time. But at this time, I did know the Lord, and I was building a really strong relationship with Him, and I looked at this as an opportunity to really trust Him. I got up every morning at 5 a.m. and I got my Bible out, and I fell flat on my face every morning, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. My next checkup was in October. Come October, my test was completely clean, no HPV, no cells, nothing. It was gone. For the first time in 2.5 years, I had a completely clean test. And to this day, I'm so thankful, because you know the power of God when He heals you of something like that. He pulled me out of the darkest place of my life. The last moment when I was going to end my life, He pulled me out of it. And it's just the evidence of His pursuit of me. I love the Lord with all my heart, because I've learned who He is, and who He is makes me who I am.